Hi everyone, that samurai you saw at the start of the video looked cool, right? Want to be like him? In the next 30 minutes, we'll break down how to achieve the same result. In this video, you'll learn how to make the best samurai build step by step, from early game all the way to the end, where to grab all the key items and weapons, and how to become an Elden Lord while actually having fun instead of suffering. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive in. To start this run, we need a plan, and here's what I came up with. We're going to split the build into 3 stages: early game, mid game, and late game. In the early stage, the build should easily handle bosses and enemies in Limgrave and Liurnia. In the mid game, it should deal comfortably with Leyndell and the Altus Plateau. And the late game version should clear everything else with ease, including the DLC. At each stage, I'll explain where to find everything, which items you need to pick up to move to the next stage, and how the build actually works. The theory is done, let's get to work. To make a samurai build, surprisingly, we need a samurai. So we pick the samurai as our starting class and choose the golden seed as our starting gift. Once you spawn in, head straight to the Church of Ella and buy the crafting kit from Kale. After that, head straight to Gatefront Ruins, touch the Site of Grace, and Melina will show up. Now you can level up, get Torrent on a ring, and the build finally starts. Before you leave the Gatefront Ruins, don't forget to get the whetstone knife underneath the ruins, so that we can put our nice Ash of Wars on our weapons later. Now we need to get some runes. The fastest way to level up from your current level to 50 is to head straight to Caelid and kill the dragon first, and then the Knight's Cavalry. We already have a detailed guide on how to do this step by step, so I'll leave a timestamp and a link to that video right here. You can check it out and follow along if you want to level up quickly. After you get level 50, your stats should look roughly like this. I'll make Vigor around 37 so we can take a few more hits. Then, for Dexterity is going to be 22 for more dex scaling damage. And lastly, Faith 15 and Arcane 10 because I'm going to use a spell that. And once you've got that foundation going, it's time to grab our first real samurai blade, the Nagakiba. Yeah, it's a katana, but it's also basically stretched out Uchigatana and is the longest katana in Elden Ring. Sephiroth would be proud. To get, I go to Murkwater Cave, and before I even reach the entrance, an invader named Bloody Finger Naragus is going to jump me. I don't panic. I fight him for a bit, and Daddy Yura shows up to back me up. Together, we clobbered the invader. After that, I keep moving north into the little ravine area and find Yura nearby. And then I just straight up betray him, because we need the Nagakiba that drops specifically from him. But fighting him is really difficult at this stage, especially for a beginner. Luckily, I got an easy cheese strat for it.
What?
First, get a lot of arrows from Kale, like around 80. Then hit him until he aggroes you. Now run away until you'll notice him trying to back up. That means he has some kind of limit distance range to where he can go, and we'll take advantage of it. Pull out your bow and arrow and put some arrows in his back. Remember to free aim because he moves a lot. After more arrows on him, he dies and takes his Nagakiba. Nothing personal, bro. This build demands sacrifices. The requirements of using it is 18 strength and 22 dexterity. Our strength right now is 12, so it looks like we can't use it, but what's cool is that if you two-hand your weapon, your strength goes up by 50% bypassing it, which means instead of 12 strength, we have 18 and can use the weapon. I love Nagakiba because the reach is ridiculous. I can hit enemies from afar, punish safer, and control the room like a boss. It swings a bit slower than the Uchigatana though, but it hits harder, and the range makes up for it immediately. Next stop is the Ash of War that turns this thing from long katana into long and deadly katana, the double slash. To get it, I head to Dragonburnt Ruins and open the teleportation trap chest. That chest teleports me straight into Celia Crystal Tunnel. The moment I appear, I'm not fighting anyone here. Get out of the tunnel before I become worm food. Once outside, I head to Celia Town of Sorcery, then I went north. After that, it's going to be a short parkour. I hop onto the roots and work my way along the branches. Do not fall and just keep moving until I spot a teardrop scarab. Kill the scarab and it drops double slash. Kill the scarab and it drops double slash. I equip double slash on the Nagakiba and I set the affinity to keen. That way it scales really good with dexterity and stays infusible for weapon buffs. The moveset immediately feels like a budget version of the Rivers of Blood, and it rocks. This is basically the Rivers of Blood's little cousins build for now, because the next pickup item is going to be a spell that makes it even more stupid strong, the Bloodflame Blade. To get it early, I start at Gatefront Ruins and take the path northwest around Stormvale. Margit can wait. I keep going until I reach the Broken Bridge, drop down and take the shortcut that leads straight to Liurnia. I follow the path going to the Liurnia Lakeshore Site of Grace, Then I cut northwest through the swamp until I reach the fallen ruins of the Lakeside of Grace. From there, I head to Rose Church on the west side of the lake. Then I go a little northwest of the church and I'm looking for a teardrop scarab crawling around in the water. I kill it and it drops Bloodflame Blade. In order to cast this, first, I'll need a seal. The easiest one is the finger seal, and I can buy it from the Twin Maiden Husks at Round Table Hold. Second, I need the stats to cast it. Bloodflame Blade has low requirements, so I only need a 12 Faith and 10 Arcane in order to cast it. So make sure you max the same stats as I did earlier. Third, my weapon has to be buffable. If I set my Nagakiba to Blood or Occult, I won't be able to apply Bloodflame Blade. That's why I use the Keen affinity, then cast the spell. Now I cast Bloodflame Blade on my Nagakiba, and every hit starts stacked Flaming Bleed and it procs fast. Next, I'm gonna get a talisman, the Green Turtle Talisman. This talisman gives more stamina regen, around 8 per second, meaning I can swing more, dodge more, and stay aggressive longer without getting stuck in that out of stamina, please don't hit me panic. To get it, I head to Summon Water Village. It's buried near the village ruins, and the entrance is sealed, so I need a stone sword key to open it. I use the key, run in, and grab the Green Turtle Talisman. Easy. So the early setup is almost official on the go, and with that, I need buffs to make this build even crazier. Alright, now I'm grabbing the best early body buff that is available at this stage of the build. The Flame, grant me strength, physical damage, and fire damage. They'll get boosted 20% each and for 30 seconds. This buff is really good for a samurai setup like this because it boosts two things I care about most. To get it, I go to Caelid, to Fort Gale. Since I already unlocked the Celia Crystal Tunnel earlier for trying to get the double slash, I'll just teleport there and head directly to the Smoldering Wall Site of Grace and head west to go to Fort Gale. Inside the fort area, I'm looking for a group of flame chariots. The spell is sitting right near that spot. I grab it and get out so I won't get grilled to death there. Nice. Now I'm done getting the spell, I can proceed in getting my juices mixed. Our last buff we'll need for our early samurai build is the Flask of Wondrous Physick mix. For my early mix, I'm going to these two crystal tiers. First one is the Green Spill Crystal tier. This boosts my max stamina by 15% for 3 minutes. More stamina means more dodge rolls, more attacks, and fewer times I'll get choked when my stamina bar is empty. You can get it by going south of Third Church of Marika, Site of Grace in Mistwood. There, you'll see an altar next to the minor Erd tree containing it along with the spiked crack tier. Second is the Windy Crystal tier. This one gives my rolls about +5 extra invincibility frames, which makes dodging way more forgiving. The bad side effect is the -15% damage negation, but that's fine. I'm not planning to get hit anyway. You'll get it at Caelid, Southern Aeonia Swamp Bank Site of Grace. You'll need Torrent for this one, because once you get, the giant birds will begin to chase you. Alright, my mix is set. Let's test it against Margit. I buff up, and then walk in. I start swinging, and why does the damage feel kinda small? Oh gosh, I forgot to upgrade my weapon. Margit pushes me away and I fall to my death. Okay, let's fix that by upgrading my weapon this time. There are two routes I can use when doing the weapon upgrade. First one is the casual route. If you want to play the game fair, then I'll just head to the Raya Lucarian Crystal Tunnel, taking the level 3 smithing stones inside, and killing the Crystallian boss. After that, taking its smithing stone miner's bell bearing. We can use this bearing to buy some level 1 and 2 smithing stones. Then, collect missing level 3 smithing stones nearby the academy, perfect for our early samurai build. If farming smithing stones feels boring and you're okay with a bit of cheesing, this is what I do. First, we need to collect 2 halves of a talisman. The first one is in Fort Feroth, which we already visited earlier. The second one is in Fort Height. Once we have both pieces, we head to the academy area and pick up the key that unlocks the academy. After that, I use the academy portal and we follow this route to the lift. Since we have both talisman halves, the lift takes us straight to the Altus Plateau. From there, we just sprint across the entire Altus Plateau. No stopping, no fighting, no sightseeing. These enemies are way too strong for us at this stage. We just keep running until we reach this cave. Inside the cave, I open the chest and we get the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing for level 3 and level 4 smithing stones. With that done, we can upgrade our weapons straight to plus 12. And before I run Margit again, I also upgrade my flasks, Golden Seeds and Sacred Tears. I'm putting the exact map locations on screen so you can copy my route and stop dying to chip damage. Oh, and by the way, if you're asking, but what about the armor dude? That you see the title? That's right, I'm going full samurai on this guy. Alright, round 2. I buff up again, then I walk through the fog. This time, the damage is good. Double Slash starts stacking bleed immediately, and Margit's health bar finally breaks. Margit goes down. Killed him in 29 seconds with 1,423 damage per opening, and that unlocks the next big step. Second talisman slot, which means it's time for the next talisman, and its name is John Cena. The real name of it is the Winged Sword Insignia. This talisman rewards you for playing aggressive. The longer I keep landing hits, the more my damage gets bigger, and since this build uses Double Slash, it procs that bonus fast and keeps it on chugging. To get it, go to Liurnia and head into Stillwater Cave, right in the swamp area. I clear the cave, beat the boss at the end, and the reward is the Winged Sword Insignia. Next stop is Godrick. I buff up, walk through the fog, and it's honestly kind of sad. He's supposed to be this big, scary demigod, but with this setup, his health bar disappears fast. I stay on him, keep the pressure up, and he folds. Now that Godrick's down, I need to activate his Great Rune. So I teleport to this Site of Grace and run all the way to the tower to activate it. This rune gives us plus 5 to every stat, which is really strong at the start of the game. That's huge early, because it's basically free levels and it helps meet weapon and buff requirements without extra grinding. From this stage, the real snowball starts. Since I've killed my first demigod, I can push Vare's quest forward. That leads to 2 massive upgrades for this build. First, one of the best armor pieces for bleed setups, the White Mask. Second, the best Rune Farm spot in the game, the Bird Person Farm. Alright, this is the mid-game checkpoint. If your build looks like this, you're exactly where you need to be. Nagakiba with Double Slash and Keen Affinity. Bloodflame Blade and Flame grant me strength for the buffs. Talismans are Winged Sword Insignia and Green Turtle Talisman. And your Physick tiers are Green Spill Crystal tier and Windy Crystal tier. Got that? Good. Time to finish Vare's quest, because it unlocks 2 disgusting upgrades for this build. The best Rune Farm and the White Mask. The guy who was insulting us at the start of the game. He has moved now, and is located at Rose Church in Liurnia. I came to his new place and talked to him. He gives me the fingers for invasions. If I'm doing this offline, so instead of ruining other players' runs, which all of us like to do, but if you're doing it offline, we need to unlock one more location, Altus Plateau. If you chose the cheesy update route, it is already open for you. But if not, we need to collect 2 halves of a talisman. The first one is in Fort Feroth, which we already visited earlier. The second one is in Fort Height. Once we have both pieces, we head to the Academy area and pick up the key that unlocks the Academy. After that, I use the Academy portal and we follow this route to the lift. Since we have both talisman halves, the lift takes us straight to the Altus Plateau. After that, you need to follow the exact same route I show on the map until you reach the ruins. Inside, you will see the sign, Use It, and invade Magnus the Beastclaw at Writhe Blood Ruins. I kill him, get credit, then I return to Vare and he gives me the cloth. Next, I head to the Church of Inhibition, up past the Frenzied Flame village. There's a dead maiden there. I soak the cloth in her blood, then I go back to Vare and turn it in. And this is the payoff. He gives me the Pure Blood Knight's medal. I use it, and it teleports me straight to Mogwin Palace. Now I head to the Big Bird Rune Farm spot and grind until level 100. So this is a bird. It flies and all that, so we need something with range. We go to the Round Table Hold and try to buy the gravity gun from Half-Life 2 from the Twin Maiden Husks. Sadly, it's out of stock, so we just take a regular bow instead. And from Kale, our old friend Kale, we buy some arrows. Now we go back to the Moglin Palace and run to this Site of Grace. Yeah, it takes a few minutes, but if you want the legendary Samurai Power Spike, this is the fastest way. At level 100, my stats should look like this. Vigor is 60 to hit the hard cap, so I can survive most bosses in the game. Next, I level up a bit for my mind, endurance, and strength to 15, so I can spam skills, dodge more, and attack more. If you still have some points left, just put everything else straight into damage, specifically into dexterity. Now I'm strong enough to handle what I actually came here for, the White Mask invaders. I head south in Mogwin Palace and follow the bloodstream. Along that path, the White Mask invasions start triggering. I keep pushing all the way to the farthest south for the last invader. Actually, there will be a few of them there, but we only need one specific one. He is located exactly at the spot where I'm standing right now. Fighting him is not the easiest thing, so gather all the skills you have and show him who really deserves this mask. Wearing it boosts my attack power by 10% for 20 seconds whenever blood loss is inflicted on an enemy. That means every bleed pop becomes a damage window, and this build is built to make bleed happen constantly. Now we need the third slot for Stefan, which means we go straight to Renala. To reach Renala, I need the Academy Glintstone key. You should already have it. So in that case, just use it. After that, I fight the dog boss, dodge the world's most annoying rolling boulders, and push straight to Renala. And I've got a little trick here. I don't buff at the start. In Phase 1, I kill 2 of the glowing singing kids first. Then I stop. I wait. The moment I find the third one, that's when I buff up. Because the second I pop the last kid, Renala drops. And I get a free damage window before she can waste time resetting the fight. I delete Phase 1, roll straight into Phase 2, and she goes down fast. Now I unlock Respect, and I also get another Talisman slot. The only thing left is to get the Talisman. This is where a moral choice appears. You can be a good person and get it at the end of the game, or you can play a bit unfair and get it earlier. Which is exactly what I did, because 20 bucks is 20 bucks. First I go to Caelid and kill Commander O'Neill. I grab the unalloyed gold needle, and I also pick up his weapon, Commander's Standard. That was an easy fight, just don't forget to dodge the rot. And I'm using that weapon for one reason. Its skill is an aura buff that gives 20% more damage, 20% all damage negation, and it lasts 30 seconds. And here's the best part. During the skill animation, I immediately swap off the weapon. The buff stays, but I don't have to carry the weight. Free aura buff, no equip load pain, more rolls. Next, I take the needle to Gowry at Gowry's shack. I reload, get the repaired needle back, and then I bring it to Millicent at the Church of the Plague. I give it to her, rest, talk again, and she gives me a talisman that I can use temporarily if I want. I'm putting the quest route on screen so you can follow it without getting lost. After that, I meet her again at Erdtree Gazing Hill in Altus Plateau. She talks a bit about herself, shares her problems, and asks us to help her. She wants us to solve the problem of her missing arm and give her a prosthetic. There is no Mr. Beast in the lands between who will show up and gift her one, so we're the ones who are going to take care of it. I head north to the Shaded Castle. I don't need to fight the bell-bearing hunter for this build. I'm here for 2 things only: the recipe for Blood Boil Aromatic and the Valkyrie's prosthesis. I'll put the exact item locations on screen. Once I have the recipe, I replace Flame, grant me strength, with Blood Boil Aromatic. Physical damage goes up 30%. Max stamina goes up 20%, but all damage negation drops to 25%, so use it smartly. Then I give the Valkyrie's prosthesis to Millicent to keep the quest moving. Now our way leads us to Windmill Village. At the top, I fight the Godskin Apostle. If I'm a scrub, I can summon Millicent for the fight. I buff first, walk in, and the Apostle melts. Seriously, he goes down fast with this setup. After the fight, I rest. Millicent appears nearby. I exhaust her dialogue, and then I do the deed. I kill her for Millicent's prosthesis. This talisman is insane for this build. It boosts dexterity by +5, and it raises attack power with successive attacks. The damage ramp goes 4%, then 6%, then 11% as I keep landing hits. So with double slash and fast katana pressure, this thing stacks like crazy. The last thing we need to do before entering the actual Leyndell is to upgrade our Flask of Wondrous Physick. For that, we will need the below. It's dropped by the minor Erdtree avatar north of Fort Faroth. And don't worry, with my current setup, that thing is dead to me. I kill it, grab the tier, and I swap out the Windy Crystal tier for this instead. Opaline Hard tier gives 15% damage negation to all damage types for 3 minutes. That's huge. Mid-game hits harder, and this buys me breathing room. And the very last thing you need to do before entering Leyndell is to upgrade your weapon as much as possible. You most likely have already come across Smithing Stone level 5 to 6 on the way. And did it, But if you not, here is the map where you can get it. Now I'm ready to step into Lanedale. At least, I think I am. Everything starts simple with the Draconic Tree Sentinel. I deal with him, take the key to the city, and I'm in. Now once I'm inside, I have one top priority item, Lord of Blood's Exaltation. This talisman is so important that I'm immediately going underground for it. I find the well entrance, drop down, and I keep moving through the tunnels. Avoid the nasties, keep going deeper, and eventually, I end up in the Lanedale Catacombs. Down here, I run the maze, open the right doors, and make my way to the boss. I kill him, and he drops the talisman. Lord of Blood's Exaltation boosts my attack power by 20% for 20 seconds whenever blood loss happens nearby. That's literally perfect for this build. Bleed pops, I get a damage window, everything melts. So I replace the turtle talisman with it. Now it's time for the next gatekeeper, Godfrey, the Golden Shade. He's immune to bleed, so don't expect the usual instant delete. I buff up, play it clean, and yeah, it's a tougher fight, but I get it done. And that unlocks the 4th talisman slot. Nice. For my 4th talisman, I want pure quality of life.
You can run the Bull Goat talisman instead. Here's where you can find it on the map. It boosts your poise, which means enemies won't constantly stagger you, and that's huge in fights. Now I'm suited up. Time for Margit. I walk in first, run straight at him, and when the bleed pops, you can literally see it. The damage goes crazy.
Let's go.
Margit drops. And just like that, mid-game is done. Now it's time to step into Endgame. I've reached the point where the elevator opens up the mountaintops of the giants, and from here the build stops being mid-game strong and starts turning into an endgame boss killer. Before we start allocating stats and putting the build together, let me set one thing straight. This is a level 150 build. By the time you reach the endgame, you'll naturally land around that level anyway, either by just playing through the game normally, or by topping it off with a bit of rune farming. Both options are totally fine. At level 150, this is roughly what your stats are going to look like. I upgrade my mind to 20 so that I can spam my skill even more this time. I set my endurance to 30 so I can dodge even more and wear heavier armor when needed. Then I level up to my strength to 20 and dexterity 60 for more damage for my weapon. What? Intelligence? We don't need brains in this build, just brawn, so we neglect it. If you ever mess up your stats points or want to modify some, you can go to Renala at the Raya Lucaria Grand Library in Liurnia to respec your stats. You'll need a larval tier in order to do the respec thing. They're basically everywhere down there, so just pick them up as you go, then take them to Renala and respec. Now comes the fun part, the endgame katanas. At this point, Nagakiba alone just isn't cutting it. We even spent a decent amount of time on Margit, and that's a clear sign that we need more damage. A lot more damage. So we add a second katana. More katanas, more damage. Specifically, the Uchi katana, aka the strat weapon. Why did we wait until now to do this? Because we unlock the way to mountaintops of the giants. Seppuku is in this location. You can find the Seppuku Ash of War east of the freezing lake Sid of Grace. There will be an invisible scarab roaming around. I recommend using the weapon's double slash thanks to its wide area. I keep Nagakiba in my offhand for that insane reach, then I dual wield with the Uchi katana. I set them up with Seppuku and keep the affinity on Keen. This setup procs bleed like crazy, faster than the other two options, and it's perfect for aggressive dual wield pressure. Now, there are two more things I want before the next big wall. I need the Halig Tree Medallion so I can grab the thorny cracked tier. You can find it here on the map. This tier ramps up my damage the more hits I land. 3 tiers, and when it's fully stacked, the damage boost gets disgusting. And I also want access to Yellow Annex Tunnel so I can finish maxing my weapons to plus 25. For the best samurai armor in Elden Ring, the White Reed set can be found at the Spirit Caller's Cave in the mountaintops of the giants. You'll need 2 stone sword keys to get inside. Alright, let's wrap up what the final samurai build should look like. Main hand weapon should be Uchi Katana with Seppuku Ash of War in Keen Affinity. Offhand weapon would be the Nagakiba with Seppuku Ash of War in Keen Affinity. Armor should be the White Reed set, but the helmet can be interchangeable to White Mask if you want more bleed damage. Talismans should be as follows. First is the Lord of Blood Exaltation for damage if bleed proc occurs. Second should be Millicent's Prosthesis for +5 for dex and increases damage on successive hits. Third should be the Winged Sword Insignia, which also increase damage on successive hits, and it stacks with the second talisman. For the fourth talisman, we're switching to the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman. It gives us extra survivability, and that's exactly what we need at this point. Or, if you want more damage instead, you can just swap it for the Shard of Alexander. That's also a solid choice.
And here's the order for the buff rotation. First, I drink the Flask of Wondrous Physick, both Thorny Crack tier and Opaline Hard tier used, for more damage and defense. Second is using an aura buff like Golden Vow or Command's standard skill, for more attack and defense again. Third is going to be a body buff like Flame Grant Me Strength or the Blood Boiled Aromatic, for more increased damage. If you want more stamina regen, you can craft Pickled Turtlenecks if available. I think that's all for our build items. Now, for the playstyle for this build. First, buff up and seppuku both weapons. When in a fight, prioritize and dodge and immediately attack, because the animation makes a fast dual slash. I don't recommend jumping attacks on this build, because the ramp up time when getting up after a fall is too slow, so don't it. After that, it's time. The Fire Giant. This is the Samurai endgame build. The procs are insane and they happen fast. The damage ramps instantly and the boss health bar just evaporates. Final time to kill is 17 seconds. Damage per opening is 23,926. Next, let's try it on Godfrey, if he can handle this samurai of mine. Godfrey frickin' ate my blades like it was nothing. He dies in 22 seconds, incredible, with 3,290 damage per opening. I'm very impressed with my results. I think this is the best that it could be already, but I want to see if I can push this samurai build further. So that means we are going inside the DLC and test on the bosses there. That world will be my final benchmark. Let's kill both Moog and Radon to open the place to the DLC. Why, that was quick. Even Moog himself doesn't stand a chance. Alright, let's head in. Our first boss of the DLC, R'Lana the Twin Moon Knight. Gotta be difficult cause she is fast and frickin' dual wields, so I gotta play smart on my dodge. She dies 18 seconds, and I dealt 20,693 per opening. Never mind, this boss is kinda manageable. Good job, my noble samurai. Now for the final deal breaker of this build, Mesmer the Impaler, the fiery snake himself. Let's go and do this. Buff up and head in. Dead. He dead in 55 seconds, easy, with 21,898 damage per opening. Holy smokes, literally. And that's the full best samurai build, from early game all the way to endgame, plus DLC upgrades if you've got them. I showed you exactly what to grab, when to grab it, and which swaps actually matter so you don't waste time getting the wrongs items. If you follow this route, you'll have a samurai that hits hard, procs fast, and stays deadly in hard boss fights. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and comment which build you need to make next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.